man.
For 60 minutes and everybody on the field, every play's the big play. We take over the stadium.
We're here to stay, baby. Let's give them a fight. Let's give them a fight.
It's going to be a war out there today.
We started like we're going to finish it. Maximum concentration. You got to believe that, and you got to get it done from the word go, from the beginning. Let's go, man. Baby. Win on 3. 2, 3, come on. 1, 2, 3, come on. 1, 2, 3, win. 1, 2, 3, win.
The 1995 Indianapolis Colts met all challenges head-on. Those who thought the Colts would crumble easily were dead wrong. This was a team of wire-to-wire warriors. A team that approached every game as if it were a fight to the finish.
Downhill. You hear me, Goose? Let's play downhill, baby. Play some ball here today, baby. We're gonna play some ball here today. Come on, Jason!
Punch it in. Punch it in. The Colts are gonna win. The Colts are gonna win. What a tremendous effort by this football team today.
Hit. 4 quarters of hit.
But when it go and get tough, you know, hey, we're there. We fight and we bite and we scratch.
The Colts are going to the AFC Championship game. The Indianapolis Colts stunning the NFL. What an incredible year this team has had. What an incredible gutty performance every week.
After a season-opening overtime loss to Cincinnati, the Colts traveled to the Meadowlands, where they got off to another shaky start.
Now the snap to Erickson. Looks right, looks left. He's going to throw it over the middle, and he is intercepted. Picked off by Otis Smith, 45-40, 35-30. He may go. Touchdown.
But eventually, the Colts dug themselves out of a deep hole. Tony Bennett's fumble return narrowed the gap to 24-10. Then Jim Harbaugh came out of the bullpen to throw for a pair of scores, including a strike to Marshall Faulk that thrust Indianapolis into overtime for the second straight week.
Again, he jumps in the flat, wide open, caught by Faulk. Touchdown, Marshall! He walks into the end zone. Bardacchi will hold the snap. Ball is down. The kick is up. It's got the leg. It is good. The Colts win. The Colts win. Mike Cofer drills a 52-yarder, and the Colts win 27-24. It probably is the toughest win this franchise has earned in a long, long time.
1995 was a banner year for a franchise whose commitment to winning was personified by owner Robert Irsay, Jim Irsay, Director of Football Operations Bill Tobin, and a coaching staff that included offensive coordinator Lindy Infante, who will succeed Ted Marchibroda as head coach in 1996.
Halfback to the outside formation. That's the same team we've had forever, probably man-to-man.
Infante's team will include a nucleus of outstanding young talent yielded from the past 2 drafts. Rookie tight end Ken Dilger made an instant impact in 1995, as did defensive tackle Ellis Johnson, number 62. 1994 second-round pick Trev Alberts continued to develop at linebacker, while last year's top choice, running back Marshall Faulk, again ranked among the AFC's best in rushing yardage, combined yards from scrimmage, and touchdowns. Against an undefeated Rams team in Week 4, Faulk was simply sensational. as he rushed for 177 yards. Falk's 3 scoring runs paced the first of 3 consecutive victories.
They give us the ball, cut back, 30, 25, he's gone! 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Marshall Falk up the middle, 32 yards. Harbaugh on the give to Marshall. Marshall's at the 30, he's at the 25, outside. He's at the 15, he's at the 10, 5, touchdown, Marshall Falk!
After the Marshall ran the Rams out of town, Roosevelt Potts rumbled through the Miami Dolphins when the Colts took on their second straight undefeated opponent. Even though Potts suggested a human earthquake, it was the Colts who stood on shaky ground as they faced a 24-3 third-quarter deficit.
Let's get tough out there.
But then Jim Harbaugh caught fire and passed for over 300 yards in the game. Harbaugh threw for 3 touchdowns to send the contest into overtime.
Takes the snap, drops straight back, pressure coming. He steps up, he looks, throws it downfield, intended for Floyd Turner. He got it! Floyd Turner will score! Excellent catch by Floyd Turner, and the Colts are back in it. Snap is to Harbaugh out of the shotgun. Here comes the pressure. Jimmy rolls out of it, throws on the run into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Colts! They have come back within 1. Aaron Bailey with a great catch.
For the 3rd time in 6 weeks, a field goal would determine the Colts' fate.
I don't know if I can live through another kick.
There it is. The snap, the ball is down. The Blanchard kick is up. It is good. The Colts win. The Colts win on Blanchard's field goal.
We did it, baby. We did it. That's right. That's the tempo.
In overtime, the Colts 27, Miami 24.
Jim Harbaugh left his mark on the landscape of the 1995 NFL season. And on a team that always fought to the finish, this quarterback proved capable of throwing the knockout punch. To achieve the finest pro season of his 9-year career, Harbaugh responded to the teaching of Lindy Infante and added a measure of discipline to his footloose style.
I think it has to do with a lot of the coaching I've gotten from Lindy Infante.
You like this or the Jag better?
I like this guy.
Go right here and call it. Okay. Tell everybody looks like 31. Make sure you declare somebody now.
The receivers have kind of grown accustomed to my type of game and knowing that when they run their route that I may not be back in the pocket, I may be somewhere, anywhere. And I think they do a good job of getting open because they know that it's not your classic drop back style. And so I think it kind of keeps them aware of that and keeps them moving and looking for open spots.
Harbaugh's wide receivers included Brian Stabline, number 80 Aaron Bailey, who led the Colts in average yards per catch, Sean Dawkins, number 87, the team leader in receiving yards, and 2 veterans, number 84 Flipper Anderson and Floyd Turner, number 88. A talented receiving corps that also included backs Marshall Falk, Roosevelt Potts, and Lamont Warren, and tight end Ken Dilger, number 85, enabled Harbaugh to throw 17 touchdown passes against only 5 interceptions. When summer camp ended, Jim Harbaugh was not even the Colts' starting quarterback. But when the season ended, he was the league's highest-rated passer and a Pro Bowl performer.
If at the beginning of the season I would have wished for something, I don't think I would wish for as good as things that turned out this year. It's just kind of a dream season.
Throughout 1995, dreams as big as the sky were dreamt by everyone, especially when the San Francisco 49ers came to town.
Colts by 10. On their way to the playoffs. Playoff season right here.
Outside. Y'all take care of outside, we take care of the inside. It's on us, baby. It's our world on the inside. Y'all take care of the outside. They can't block us, baby. They can't block us, man.
Against the defending world champions, the Colts defense achieved a seemingly impossible dream by shutting down the high-powered 49ers and mounting a dramatic goal line stand at the end of the first half.
It is third down and goal for San Francisco from the 1. Young looks for right. He's going to roll to the left side. He dives. He didn't get there. He did not get there. They will give it to LaVille. He's hit. Gets away. Comes diving. Does make it. The Colts stop him. Yes. 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 What a play. These guys are fighting everybody.
The defense continually hounded and pounded Steve Young, while 4 Kerry Blanchard field goals and a Ken Dilger touchdown reception ensured that a very big dream would come true.
Here we go, touchdown! Harbaugh to throw, drops the throw, sets, looks, throws underneath, caught by Dilger. He's at the 10, he's at the 5, touchdown! Ken Dilger piles into the end zone!
That's 60 minutes, baby!
This is Colts hot stew. Medium hot, extra hot.
That's what the Colts are going to be. Hot, hot, hot.
In Week 13, the offense was definitely cooking as the Colts secured their first season sweep of the Dolphins since 1988. This victory featured a creative blend of ingredients. Wide receiver Aaron Bailey played running back, while ball carrier Marshall Faulk demonstrated his skills as a pass catcher. Bailey also caught one of 3 Jim Harbaugh scoring strikes.
Up, he throws one deep intended for Aaron Bailey. He's got it! He is in! Touchdown, Aaron Bailey!
2 weeks later in Jacksonville, Bailey took the game-opening kickoff and ignited another scoring explosion.
Line drive headed to Bailey. He'll field it to 6, to the 10, 15, 20, 25, and now he's 35. He may go. The 40. He's at the 50. Jacksonville 40. To the sideline to the 30. Still on his way to the 20. The 10. The 5. Touchdown by Aaron Bailey.
Outstanding special teams work was the order of the day. After Chris Gardaki's booming punt resulted in Derwin Gray's fumble recovery, Marshall Faulk swept into the end zone with the aid of a block from Roosevelt Potts, number 42. An offensive line consisting of Kirk Loudermilk, Will Wolford, Joe Stasiak, Randy Dixon, Jason Matthews, and Eric Malum was solid throughout the season and helped power a triumph over the Jaguars. Craig Erickson, starting in place of injured Jim Harbaugh, threw for 2 scores in a win that gave Indianapolis an 8-6 record. A playoff berth was now in sight, and a defense that was putting everything together would become instrumental in securing that berth.
Go, right. Hey, they didn't come here for no fight. They didn't come here for no fight. They came here for a quickie. Let's give them a fight. Let's give them a fight.
This was a unit that was always ready for a fight, thanks to two-fisted competitors like outside linebacker Quentin Coriat, who topped the team in solo tackles. The Colts boasted the AFC's 3rd best rushing defense, as the swarm and conquer philosophy of Vince Tobin was practiced by the down 7. Bernard Whittington, Tony Siragusa, Stephen Grant, Jeff Harrod, Tony Bennett, Ellis Johnson, Trev Alberts, Tony McCoy, Freddie Joe Nunn, and Scott Radisek were also capable of pillaging enemy pass pockets. 1956, Tony Bennett recorded a team-high 10.5 sacks. Bennett returned a fumble for a touchdown and produced a safety. And he was not the only defender who put points on the board in 1995. 12-year veteran defensive back Eugene Daniel, number 38, turned in the longest interception in team history.
Brisker to throw, fires to the side, picked off by the Colts. It's Eugene Daniel. He's at the 20, looking for a block. 25. He's to the 30, 35. He's got blockers. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. The 10. Eugene Daniel goes all the way on the last play of the half. 97 yards for a touchdown.
An opportunistic secondary also included David Tate, Ray Buchanan, number 34, Derwin Gray, Jason Belser, Ashley Ambrose, Damon Watts, and Ray McElroy. The entire defense was proficient at forcing turnovers, and in the AFC, only Kansas City posted a better takeaway-giveaway ratio than Indianapolis. Takeaways helped the Colts seize a wild card slot when they beat New England in the final game of the regular season.
Has time, throws the slant, intercepted by Ashley Ambrose. Bledsoe takes a snap, drops the throw. Being pressured, throws one deep down the middle. It is intercepted by Nelson.
3 interceptions preserved a tightly contested win that also featured important contributions from running back Lamont Warren, place kicker Kerry Blanchard, and Jim Harbaugh.
Harbaugh fakes the growth, rolls to the right. He looks, Jimmy looks. Jimmy throws into the end zone. Touchdown, Floyd Turner! Touchdown, Floyd Turner! The Colts are headed to the playoffs for the first time since 1987.
Tails. Tails is a call. Tails it is. Your choice. To receive, to defend that goal. Indianapolis has won the toss, chose to receive. Gentlemen, let's play football!
Many standout performers, including number 34, Ray Buchanan, were more than ready to play football. When an injury sidelined Marshall Faulk for the entire postseason, Ted Marchibroda called on untested rookie Zach Crockett, who responded with 147 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
We'll give it to Crockett up the middle. Crockett's got running room. 30. He's at 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Zach Crockett.
Go, boy. Gotta step up.
4 interceptions keyed the Colts' first postseason win since 1971. Jim Harbaugh accounted for 3 touchdowns, and his third-period scoring pass to Sean Dawkins put the Colts ahead to stay.
San Diego coming on the blitz. Back to throw is Harbaugh. He airs it out, down intended for Sean Dawkins. Dawkins, got it! He scored! Touchdown, Dawkins!
Zach Crockett's second touchdown further demonstrated that the Colts definitely belonged in the playoffs.
35, 40, 45, 50, 45. He's at the 40. He's at the 35, 30. He's at 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Zach Crockett!
Nobody wants us to win. None of them. We ain't even supposed to be here. Nobody wants us in the playoffs. They said it couldn't be done, baby. Here we go, Kansas City. One more time. Come on, baby.
The wind chill was -9 degrees when the Colts blew into Kansas City to take on the team with the NFL's best record. The offensive line held firm against one of the league's top defenses. And in the second quarter, the Colts erased a 7-0 deficit when Harbaugh and Floyd Turner teamed up for a touchdown.
Left to right, stops in front of Jim. Back to throw Harbaugh out of the shotgun. He throws to the corner. Turner's got a touchdown. Floyd Turner.
I don't think we need ice in the water today.
The Colts had ice water in their bays, and 3 late-game picks thwarted Kansas City's bid to overcome a 10-7 Indianapolis lead. But with 37 seconds left to play, Indianapolis would be reminded that it helps to be lucky as well as good.
A 43-yard effort. The snap is there. It's down. The kick is up. It looks wide to the left. It looks wide. It's wide left. The Colts are going to the AFC Championship game. And the Kansas City Chiefs, the mighty Chiefs, have fallen to the Colts. And 47 guys fought their fannies off today. They are now going to play Pittsburgh next Sunday in Pittsburgh.
Whoever wants is going to win it now.
Expect to win. You got to expect to win, baby.
Unlike those who tabbed them as 11-point underdogs, the Colts believed in themselves, and confidence would help them go up 16-13 with just under 9 minutes left in the game.
Harbaugh drops the throw. Pressure coming up the middle. He stands in. Throws deep down the corner. Sends it for Floyd Turner. He's got it. 10, 5, touchdown! Floyd Turner! 47 yards from Jimmy Harbaugh!
But despite the all-out war waged by the defense, Pittsburgh reclaimed the lead late in the 4th period.
It ain't over yet. There's a minute and a half to go.
Oh no, Jim Harbaugh's worked his magic before.
As always, the Colts refused to give up without a fight, and this fight would have a dramatic finish.
Come down to one play, see if they can pull it out.
If they don't, what an incredible year this team has had. What an incredible gutty performance every week. Harbaugh out of the shotgun, takes the snap, drops the throw, sets, he airs it out, deep into the right-hand corner. Everybody in the end zone, they battle for the ball. It is caught! No, they say incomplete! No, they say incomplete! No! The Colts thought they had it. They thought they had it. It's over. Aaron Bailey thought he had it in the end zone. The Steelers, with a 20-16 win, go to the Super Bowl, and the Colts go to a place in your heart.
Well, you're darn right. What an effort by the Colts, and they gave it everything they had right down to the last play of this football game.
This organization fought to the championship game and lost by inches. And the Colts have had a great season.
The 1995 Indianapolis Colts won 11 games, and by the time the season had ended, they had also won the respect of opponents and the admiration of football fans everywhere. The reason for this team's winning ways could be found in a relentless style of play that transformed every game into a fight to the finish.
If I could pick a player out of the past and bring him back, I'd pick Gino Marchetti in a hurry, because the way that Gastineau plays, the way that Howie Long plays, Gino did it a long time ago.
Gino Marchetti, number 89, created modern defensive end play. He used finesse rather than force, avoiding blockers instead of punishing them.
People used to line up and play against Gino when he was a defensive end, and they would end up not getting hit or not getting their uniform dirty. But the quarterback always had a dirty uniform on the other team.
Marchetti's primary job was rushing the passer, but he was just as tough on runners, crushing plays inside of him and slicing through plays wide of him. Marchetti played with a brooding intensity, and the flames of his competitive fire were ignited long before kickoff.
I was a nervous wreck, I know that. I remember I roomed with the doctor one time because I had a fever the night before the game. And he had said, you know, Gino, I'll give you 5 more years if, you know, I'll make you room in a telephone booth, you know, so you can calm down.
If you've ever seen a caged lion at the zoo where they're just pacing back and forth, that's what I remember about Gino. And we opened the cage and let him out.
God, I loved it. And when I ran on that field, I felt I was in heaven. When I heard that Baltimore Colts song, I just said, well, boy, this is it. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Not so lucky were Marchetti's opponents. Gino was at his best against the finest offensive lineman of his time. For Baltimore's irresistible force, there was no such thing as an immovable object.
If you were an offensive lineman and had to look forward to playing him the next day, I don't think you could put your head on the pillow the night before and ever fall into the land and nod, because you would know what was facing you the next afternoon, and Marchetti was a unbelievable load.
He's the only man that ever played that I couldn't block. I tried with, I was thinking if the coach ever traded me and I had to play against him, I wanted to know how to block him because I knew that he would be on my side. And I said, now this man I can't block, I don't know what to deal with. He's so quick off the ball. He beat the ball off the ball and they would never call him offside.
My brother, who played offensive guard for the Colts, gave me the tip. He said, don't ever let Gino get his hands on you, because he had such strong hands. If he's able to get a hold of your jersey, you're gone. You're dead if he grabs you.
We had a tackle named Frank Yusso, and he's blocking on Gino, and he, before the game, had put Vaseline all over his shoulders, so that when Gino would go up and hit his shoulders, he would slide off. Well, he put them on this particular day, and the first couple of times Gino comes in, I hear him grunting, and he didn't get to me. I was surprised. Third time I went back to pass, I hear this, threw the ball down the field, and I hear this awful commotion. And Gino had taken Yusso by the jersey and ripped his jersey completely off of him. He said, kid, when you come back in here the next time, don't put any grease on your jersey.
In a sport where bravery is a requisite, Captain Marchetti brought a special kind of valor.
We were playing Green Bay and Milwaukee, and I think it was just before the half. Ferguson, I made a tackle on Ferguson, and he tore my shoulder out. So they took me into a hospital room in there, emergency room.
And as they worked on it, the pain was intense, and to keep him from grinding off his teeth, they took a hard piece of rubber and placed it between his teeth. And as they were forcing this shoulder back in this intense pain that he was having to endure, he said, do you think I'll be able to play the second half?
White men call it heart. Black men call it soul. Spaniards call it machismo. Whatever you want to call it, Gino Marchetti had it. It was with him every Sunday for 14 years on the playing fields of the NFL.
Give me a bunch of Gino Marchettis. I'll go to war with anybody.
He started a thin face, and his upper body had no development in it, and so if you saw him off the field, he looked a little bit thin.
The most unlikely, even more unlikely than Raymond Berry to be a great receiver. At least Raymond was tall. Jimmy was short, slow, and white.
Despite a lightweight physique, Jimmy Orr tipped the scales in his favor and became a heavyweight receiver with the Pittsburgh Steelers and then with the Baltimore Colts. Although he was a quick study on a football field, Jimmy Orr was anything but a student of the game.
I was not a great looker at films, and oftentimes when they turned the lights out, I went to sleep. So I had to use guile and skullduggery to offset lack of speed.
Jim never counted the steps. Only thing Jim needed to know was where should I be open and when should I be there. 2.5 seconds, 3.6 seconds, just tell me where you need me to be.
Jimmy didn't have blazing speed, but Jimmy had good cutting ability. By being able to cut sharp, he was able to break away and then make these great adjustments on the ball. The thing that I remember most about Jimmy Orr was his ability to look back over his head and focus in on a ball that was coming in over his head and be able to pick up the flight of the ball and adjust with his hands as it was coming in over the top.
Orr was a running back in college, and his deceptive moves in the open field allowed him to cut through defenses and bleed the most out of every play. It was this surprising facet of his game that made his average per catch the third highest in NFL history.
Here's a guy that, if he was playing today, could have a field day against those people over there because they can't touch him. He's playing against guys that would come up and hit him and knock him down and sit on him and dare him to get back up again. A funny story about Jimmy, we were playing Philadelphia here in Baltimore, and he got hurt just prior to the half, and they thought he had separated his shoulder or something.
In fact, I put my street clothes on to go to the hospital because I figured I was through. I got in line for the x-rays, and there were 17 people in front of me, some of them on stretchers. But they all said, no, you go to the front of the line. So I go to the front of the line, I get x-rayed, and it's warm in there. My shoulder starts feeling a lot better. And so the trainer and myself, 2 trainers, we go back to the ballpark. Didn't have my jockey strap on, my ankles weren't taped, and I didn't have any pads on except my shoulder pads.
So Jimmy comes into the huddle, doesn't say anything to me, so I said, okay, and that's it. I was just, here's boom, 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 boom.
The play worked, and I scored a touchdown in Oarsville. Oarsville came about because it seemed like in Baltimore I always caught my touchdown passes in what was the third base corner of the stadium.
Called the post corner. We call it a bend in our terminology, but he could make people think he was going to the post and then break back to the corner, and he could be more wide open than I think anybody I've ever seen.
He lulled people to sleep. They'd throw that inside play inside, and then he'd break off the inside play and be sitting there, and Unitas would always hit him. In Oarsville, that one corner in the end zone in Baltimore, when you almost get killed if you catch the ball there.
Although he was not God's gift to receivers, Jimmy Orr created a little piece of heaven called Oarsville. It was the final resting place for many a Colt touchdown and a memorial to one of pro football's most underrated players.